per provider. T's and rules apply.
Nangempela ke sisishele leso sikhathi lesixoxana naye ke Anna Marie de Beer from yona ke Nestlé for Healthy Kids. Good morning, Anna Marie.
Good morning. I'm happy to be back with you guys this morning.
It's good to have you back. Now, Anna Marie, today we are talking about the food that we need to give to our kids so that they have the right mindset, and also to keep them active, and also just having our kids being happy. Not when you have to prepare food, they want to run away. We don't want them running away. We want them to stay and enjoy the food. Now, Anna Marie, let's start here. Please just unpack for us the meaning behind good food for good mood. What is this?
So this is actually a very interesting concept, and there's been quite a bit of research done, and the research is now showing us that getting the right nutrients over time can improve your mood. It can actually help to reduce stress, even ease anxiety, and help fight depression. Now, the way that it works is I think, the important part, and it's all related to the fact that we have a digestive system, and within the digestive system, we have bugs growing. We've got microbiota growing. It's small little bugs, which are very important. And they've now found that there's a direct link between what happens in your digestive tract versus how you feel. So if we have a healthy digestive tract, we actually feel better. And of course, there's certain foods that provide certain nutrients that also plays a role in our mood and how we feel. So it's very interesting that this is happening now. And I think many of the listeners will know, I know that I sometimes have this as well. When I'm feeling a bit down, I definitely need to eat something sweet, and then I think, well, why is that? And now the research is telling us that this is what happens, is that when we feel down, we eat. And I think as a society, we've also attached a lot of foods with our moods. You can think about a funeral, and what do you eat at a funeral? The other day I made yellow rice, and my friend said to me, oh, but you're making we call it in Afrikaans begrafnisrice, burial rice. And I said, no, this is just normal yellow rice. And immediately there was also a connotation. So food definitely plays a role in how we feel, and it can affect how we feel.
No, I hear you. Now, how do I know that our mood needs a certain food for it to change?
So I think making that direct link is quite difficult, but what we do know, if we eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, we have low-fat dairy, we have nuts and seeds, those kind of things, all will help us to actually improve our mood. Things like dairy products are quite important as well. And there's quite a lot of research showing that dairy, specifically in terms of the whey protein, plays a role in how we feel. So we must also understand that how we feel is determined by some of the hormones that are released in the brain, of which one is dopamine. And serotonin. So there are a couple of these hormones that feel-good hormones that are affected actually by the food that we eat. So it's not something I'm going to eat a handful of nuts and feel better necessarily, but I will over time definitely experience an improvement in my mood. And of course, if people are diagnosed with certain mental diseases, then food in itself is not going to cure that problem. It will definitely play a role, and it's very important then to think about your dietary habits and what it is that we give children to eat as well. And like I always say, it's about the example that we set for our kids. So very important as parents that we also set that example of healthy eating.
Then with Joseph, please feel free to kusithinta ku 011-982-4495 noma 011-982-1141 izona lezo nombolo ongasithinta kuzona khona manje. Nawe ke ubuze imibuzo yakho, sikhuluma ke ngokudla oku right, okusetha ke in the good mood, and also ukuthi ke nabantwana babe active ngendlela right and babe happy. So nawe ke if you have any questions, please feel free ukuthi ungasithinta and ubuze umbuzo wakho. Now, Anna Marie, what food is found in your basic household which is good for a good mood?
So I think if we think about it carefully, and when I read also this question, I was wondering, yes, that's a very important question because we don't want to go out and buy certain foods. But I would hope that in all our households we've got some fruits and vegetables to begin with.
Yes.
I think that one is very important. We normally have milk in the house. And there could be something like Nestlé, it could be Nido 3 Plus, it could be really any form of milk. And of course, a fortified milk is better because then we also get some of the micronutrients that we need. Also not just for overall health, but also for the mental health, let's call it that way, in that day. So those are things that we already have in the house. We should have veggies and fruit. We normally have milk in the house, and I think those two already plays a key role. Of course, if you have some nuts in the house, that will help a lot. And then the other thing that I think as South Africans we're not very good at, but that we should really think about is having more fish. Because fish provides omega-3 fatty acids. So the sardines that you have are actually very good because they provide some of those omega-3 fatty acids. So the fish, if we have that in the house, to have that more regularly, to offer it to the children also, to have that. And I think that will really already go a long way in helping kind of just getting into a better mood.
Okay. No, I hear you. Now, does a personality impact the food a person eats?
Well, this was a very interesting question. And when I also read up on it, I thought initially, no, it can't be. But actually, it's very true that our personality types kind of guides what we eat. So people who are more conscientious are probably the people that actually eat more fruits and vegetables because they know it's good for them. Then we've got a whole lot of people that are very experimental in their thinking, and they will probably eat a wider variety of food. So yes, it is true that your personality will impact on the kind of foods that we eat. And again, coming back to Nestlé for Healthier Kids, this is very important, that we then help our children to introduce them to a lot of food when they're young. Because as these personalities develop and get more established, it will probably impact on what they're going to eat as adults. But if we can introduce them to foods, a lot of a variety of foods early on in life, we can actually almost override certain of the things that they may do within a particular personality type that might not be as healthy.
Okay, so meaning that we can say, no, he likes this type of food, not that type of food, so I'll just stick to what he likes.
Very important, and it's really important that we cannot just stick to what they like, but that we introduce them. And it's important to keep in mind that when we introduce foods to children, that sometimes they require up to 26 exposures before they will like that particular food. So I really want to encourage the caregivers and parents to be creative, to be experimental with food. Even if you are not sure of something, try it with the children. Because we know in that way we can also instill variety in our children's diets, which are so important to prevent all the micronutrient deficiencies and all the other problems that we see.
No, I hear you. In closing, anything that you want to add, Anna Marie?
I think what's important, again, and perhaps that's what I have said already, is variety is really important for our kids. Really stick to fruits and vegetables. Make sure we have the fish regularly, 2 glasses of milk a day or 2 portions of dairy every day. These kind of things are really important for setting our children up on a health trajectory that will last them a lifetime. But it's also important for us as parents to do the same and set the examples for our kids to really help them to become healthy adults.
No, I hear you. Thank you so much for your time, my dear. Till next week.
Only a pleasure. Take care.
Thank you, my darling. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Boguyana lewa ke Anna Marie Dubia from Yonage Healthy Nestlé for Healthy Kids. Namhlanje ke besikhuluma ke about the food that gives children the right mindset and also keeps them active. And it's not only just for abantwana, but also we're talking about abantu abadala, because it's important ukuthi ke nathi masidla right nabantwana badla right. So they look up to us ukuthi if we are eating ngendlela right nabo bakwazi ukuthi badle ngendlela right. All right, well soba naye futhi nangeviki elisayo ngaso leso sikhathi, but for now I guess it's ukuyangapha kwezomculo.